exposed her ass. And what about her family? Oh, son, your family's put in the back seat at that point.
Right.
You know, it's like no holds barred at that point. And she kept talking about, well, if you know, I'll make a public announcement. I said, you better beat me to the punch. But see, she was threatening to do it, so I wouldn't do it. But shit, the first chance I got, I did it. Because I told her, and the reason we ended up in court was because of her. It wasn't because of me.
Right, right.
Because she was asking for money when she walked in the door. Well, if he give me $20,000, I'll drop this lawsuit. I said, she got to be nuts.
Wow. Yeah.
You know. And again, she had an attorney with pro bono. She ain't paid nothing. You know, but she was posting on her little Facebook, you know, I have attorneys on standby, so if this don't stop, you know, my attorneys are going to take action. You ain't even paid no attorney.
Right. I don't know how you come out to be the bad guy, because, I mean, if she's the one that had the disease and you could have contracted that.
She still got it. It ain't she had it. She still got it. It went nowhere.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't.
You know, but like I said, bro, people were mad at me. They were like, "How could you do that to her in Little Dakota?" I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? How could I do this to her?" I said, "How did that bitch attempt 500 or 600 times to do it to me?"
Right. Exactly. That's very confusing. I don't get that at all.
Because I came out here and told y'all that this bitch is nasty. How am I the bad guy? Now, if I would have made up some shit about her, that would have been one thing.
Right. Right.
But what I said about it was true. I didn't make that up. You know, and that whole family wanted to just kayfabe it. It'll go away, and no, that ain't gonna be that. It ain't gonna be that easy.
Exactly.
You know, it ain't gonna be that easy, because I mean, like I said, I mean, it was the first time I met her, and this is something somebody brought to my attention. This one dude was like, dude, I would have paid millions of dollars to be with her.
Right.
And he said, I would have offered up my house and my car. He said, and you lured her in with a handful of Percocet. He said, what the fuck?
Wow.
That's how the conversation started. That's how we got introduced. I gave her some Percocet at a show. And I didn't realize, I didn't know who she was. I was actually giving them to somebody else, and they shared them with her.
Right.
I didn't know who she was. And then she hit me up on Facebook and said, thanks for the treats. I said, what treats? She said, the little treats you gave such and such. I said, oh. She said, we was buying them together. I said, oh, okay, you're welcome. And then from there, we started the conversation. And 2 weeks later, I was up in that ass deep.
Right.
And that's all it took was a handful of Percocet.
So you weren't aware of who she was?
Dude, I swear to God, when she told me who she was, I said, Terry Reynolds. I said, from where? And she thought I was playing. And see, this is even the funny part, because she smoked cigars, right? She said, will you bring me a pack of cigars when you come? Now, boy, you got to understand something. I mean, ain't too many niggas smoke cigars. Right. So I stopped at 7-Eleven and bought a box of Black and Mild. And I took those to her, and she thought I was like ripping it right. Okay, what are real cigars at? I said, these are cigars. Wow. And she was like, no, the ones I smoke cost about $20 or $30 a piece. Yeah. I said, well, we need to go get in the car and find them for you then, because if I'm smoking, I will smoke weed. I said, but the only cigars I'm familiar with is these $3 pack of 4 Black and Milds. I said, that shit you talking about, I said, that's a pair of shoes. I said, I ain't going to buy that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we buy, you know, to roll it up. You know what I mean?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I didn't know nothing about cigars. I mean, you know, and then she tried to, you know, wanted me to smoke with her, and I was like, I said, that taste is in my mouth, and we smoked 2 days ago. I said, I don't want this shit no more.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
You know, but I mean, like I said, that was her thing. So I'm like, you know, you here, you can have it, you do it. You know, and then my pills popped up missing one night. Right. Percocet popped up missing. And I'm like, hey, did you see my Percocet? She's like, oh my God, babe, you should have seen you last night. Oh my God, you were drooling, you were foaming at the mouth. I thought you was gonna kill me, and the little one, and I just took them and flushed them down the toilet. And I was like, oh shit, for real?
Wow.
And she was like, yes, oh my God. I said, well, where's the bottle? She said, I don't know. I was just so upset. I put it somewhere. I'll find it and give it to you. And I said, because I need to call the doctor so I can get some more. And we couldn't find a bottle. And that airplane flew right over my head.
Wow.
I didn't see it. So then the second time, she tried to pull that crap from me again. And this time, my Percocet and my Xanax came up missing. Now see, by me cracking my skull, it threw me off. My sleeping pattern got thrown right off.
Right.
All right. So I have to take Xanax now. I've been on Xanax now for 10 years, over 12 years. All right. And it's like I tried to go cold turkey and not take them, and I started hallucinating. So I have to take Xanax. So she took my Perc and my Xanax. So the third time I was pretending like I was peeled up, and I wasn't. And she took them out my bag again. And that morning when I woke up, I said, Terry, what my Percocet is? She said, I don't know. I said, they was in my bag. She says, babe, last night you scared me so bad. I had them and I put them somewhere, but just let me think where I put them. I said, no, last night I wasn't peeled up.
Right.
Babe, yes, you. I said, no, the fuck wasn't. I said, because I didn't even take a pill last night. Well, you was stumbling around the house. I said, it's like wrestling. It was called acting. I said, I was not peeled up last. I didn't even have a pill last night.
Right.
And then when I went out to the garbage can, when she had went to work, she was working for a plumbing company as a salesman, and she was like, please don't tell anybody that I'm working for this plumbing company because it would just really make me look bad. I said, oh, as bad as your house being in foreclosure? Okay, whatever. So I went out to the garbage can, and I dumped all the trash out in the driveway, and there were two of my pill bottles. I said, I wonder how they got in the trash can. And when I brought them back in the house, I set them on the counter.
Right, right.
And when she got off work, she came in there and walked right past him and looked at him and turned like, hi, babe, I'm home. like she didn't even see him.
Yeah.
You know. And I told her, I said, you are amazing. I said, you are amazing how you can do so much dirt and try to cover it up with a smile, thinking that it's okay for you to be the person that you are. And I told her, I said, you know what, the person that I see you being is not what these dumbass marks see. I said, I see you from the core. I said, it's not with no makeup on. I said, I'm looking deep down in your soul, and I see how much ugliness and spitefulness you got in your heart. You know what I mean? I said, but nobody would ever believe me.
Right. Because
you get them so brainwashed because all they see is your two silicone titties. That's all they see. You know, and that fake smile you get. I said, they don't see nothing else but that. You know, and they just, you couldn't imagine her doing some of the stuff that she did with me. You couldn't imagine it.
Right.
You know, and I told her, I said, I'm going to go out every chance I get to put another nail in your coffin. I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
and all I'm doing is telling you the truth.
Yeah, and actually, ever since that all happened, we haven't heard from her in a long time, obviously. So obviously,
no, she did a signing. She did a signing. Did you remember I was up there last year? She did a signing at some hotel in Philly by the airport, and
wow.
She came in there, somebody told me, she walked in with all these security guys around her, like, you know, she heard I was in Philly and they hired these security people to protect her. And then she screwed some of the guy, which I'm going to say his name, little dude named Khalid or something like that. He works for High Spot. And then when I got in touch with him, I said, was you just with Terry Reynolds last week? And he's like, New Jack, bro, let me explain. I said, no. I said, we're not together anymore. I said, I don't know where you've been. I said, but did she tell you that she had herpes? And he said, what? I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, when you want to give me, like, all your information and your address, I said, and if I decide to sue her, I said, I'm going to contact you to come in court as a witness to say that she knowingly has herpes and didn't tell you.
Hey, because you're supposed to do that, right?
Started,
you're supposed to
yeah, you're supposed to tell people. And he started crying. He was on the phone crying.
Wow.
And about an hour later, I get a text with all his information on it. And then he sent me an email back about a month after that and said he got tested and he was negative. Okay. And I mean, dude, I'm just like, and I don't know why they were like, people would just give me updates. You know, every time when she came out, the first thing I woke up to that Sunday morning, Jack, she had sex with this guy that worked at high spots. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who she fucking on. I'm fucking somebody else than myself anyway. I don't care.
Right.
You know? And everything. He's like, well, I fucked with that night like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, well, yeah, that sounds like her. You know? But
right.
She didn't tell it. And see, and that's why for her to talk about Tammy, even though me and Tammy, I ain't gonna say I don't like her no more. It's just that we don't talk no more because she did some stupid shit, and she called me one day. Even though she talked about Tammy like a dog and talked about Missy, I said she is beneath Tammy and Missy with all of the underhanded backsliding shit that she did with me and with Dustin. Because I went on the internet and looked up this Howard Stern interview that Dustin did, and he was like, she was screwing some attorney when, not attorney, it was a dentist. She was screwing some dentist up in Nashville.
Yeah.
Well, that was real funny because about every 3 months, she would chip one of her veneers, she claimed, in the back. And she would come in there with this little piece of tooth until I found out later that she had that little piece of tooth stored somewhere in a plastic bag. So about every 2 or 3 months, she would fly to Nashville and stay up there for the weekend. Well, the dentist guy would pay for her hotel and would fix her mouth for free. And she'd come back home. And after that happened twice, then I found out that she was sleeping with the guy. And I told her, I said, do you really think I'm that dumb?
Right.
I said, somebody sent me that little link to Howard Stern, and I saw what Dustin, I heard what he said about you. I said, then I put it all together, okay? I said, do you really think I'm that stupid? Well, he used to work with the WWE, and he was on the road with us on WWF, and he fixed our mouth. I said, I'm sure he did fix your mouth. Not in a dental way, but I'm sure he did fix your mouth. I said, but, and it's funny, that same little piece of tooth you keep bringing in here showing me, that's like the same piece from last time.
Yeah, a lot of oral.
You know, I said, can't you come up with something new?
A lot of oral surgery was going on, I guess.
Yeah. You were absolutely right. A lot of oral surgery was really happening. You know, and I was like, man, come on, man. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, it was so much mess with that girl, man. I was just like, man, look, I'm done.
Was that one of the best parts about you being in ECW and wrestling? Was the women? Was that one of the best? Was that one of the benefits of being like one of the stars?
The women, you talking about that work with us or fans?
No, just fans, women all over, you know, always.
Well, you know what, because when I became known, I was a heel. So then too many people wanted to be around me down in Smoky Mountain because they really did believe there was a Santa Claus. So they wasn't trying to run after me. But then when I came up to ECW, and people kept saying, man, there's going to be rats at the hotel. And I was like, I don't want to stay in the hotel with rats. I was thinking a rat.
Right.
Like, to eat cheese with 4 eggs.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know what they were talking about until we went to the Travelodge. And then all these girls were just like all over everybody. And I walked in like, oh, my God. And I was like, uh-oh. So the attention we was getting was fun.
Yeah.
Along with head and sex and everything else. Oh, it was fun.
Right.
And then it got old, you know. And then I got in a relationship and it got old. And then I just stepped out of the box and looked back. And I'm like, one night I'm sitting in the room snorting coke.
Wow.
Back when I was doing it. And it's something about that chemical. It's like they should use it instead of a lie detector test. They should make you do a line of coke because coke will make you tell the truth even when you try not to.
Right.
And I was there over in the corner just snorting like all night. And all these people came in my room. And I looked at them and I said, after about my 3rd or 4th line, I said, you know what? I said, if I was Joe Blow that worked down the street at Burger King, y'all wouldn't be in here.
Right.
I said, but